Title: Cheated on, then married. Scene opens with two friends sitting across from each other. One is stirring her drink slowly, clearly working up the courage to talk. The other leans in, listening.
Tess, you said you wanted to finally tell me everything. No filters.
Lena. Yeah, I've been quiet about it for a long time, but after all the videos, the posts, the rumors, I kind of just want to tell my side, even if it's not that different.
Go for it. I've got time and I'm all ears.
So, I married my ex's brother.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it sounds messy, but it's not what people think. We didn't get together out of revenge or something wild like that. It just happened. Because we were both completely wrecked.
Okay, now you gotta explain.
Back then, my boyfriend, now ex, and my best friend were cheating on me. Behind my back, of course. At the same time, my husband, James, who was dating my best friend at the time, walked in on her and his brother in his own bed.
No way.
Dead serious. He called me while it was happening, said, "You need to know what they've been doing." I don't even remember how I reacted. Just felt numb.
And then you two just bonded over it?
Yeah, we both got blindsided. It was betrayal layered on betrayal. But you know, the first time I ever actually met James, like really talked to him, it was at this birthday dinner for my ex. Everyone was laughing and loud, and he just sat at the end of the table, kind of removed from the chaos. We barely exchanged a few words, but I remember thinking he seemed grounded, not rude, just someone who kept to himself. I saw him at other gatherings after that, but we never really connected. Until that night, after everything happened, when he called to tell me the truth. I didn't expect to ever hear from him again, but he reached out a few days later just to check in. I was still angry and confused, but I said yes when he offered to bring over dinner. We ended up sitting on my couch for 3 hours, barely touching the food, just venting and laughing at how ridiculous the whole situation was. It was the first time I felt understood, not just comforted, but seen. A couple days after that, he invited me to a dog shelter, said he used to volunteer there. We spent the afternoon walking dogs, and I couldn't stop smiling. He didn't try to flirt. He just let me be. Let me laugh again. Then there was the farmer's market Sunday. He showed up with a reusable tote and told me he knew where to find the best peaches. We ended up sitting on a curb with messy juice dripping down our arms, and he looked over and said, "You deserve someone who never makes you question your worth." That stayed with me. There were so many little moments like that. Gentle, thoughtful, simple. And somewhere in the middle of all that, I started to heal. And in that weird storm, we ended up talking a lot, every day. And eventually, yeah, we started dating. Took it slow, really slow.
And now you're married?
Yeah, we're married now. But it wasn't easy. There were ups and downs. A lot of moments where I wondered if dating him was a mistake. Not because of who he was, but because of the baggage we both carried. We were healing while learning each other. That's not easy. Sometimes we'd shut down. Sometimes we'd say the wrong thing. But we kept showing up, even when it was hard. He proved over and over that he wasn't just different from my ex. He was the kind of person I didn't even know I needed. The kind of love that was steady, patient, and real. There was one night, months before we made it official, where I had a full-on breakdown. I was crying about everything. How much I missed who I used to be. How betrayed I felt. How scared I was to trust anyone again. He didn't say a word. Just sat next to me, wrapped me in a blanket, and held me. He didn't try to fix it. He didn't tell me to calm down. He just stayed. That was the moment I knew he was worth it. So yeah, we're married, and I've never been more sure of something in my life.
What a twist.
Right? And even now, my ex, Mark, still messages me, makes fake Instagram accounts just to follow or DM me.
You're kidding.
I wish. I've blocked him everywhere, but he keeps trying. Meanwhile, James's ex, Kayla, only reached out once to apologize. That's it.
And Mark never apologized to James?
Nope. The only time he reached out was to ask if he could come to our wedding.
Audacity.
Exactly. It got worse. James's parents didn't come to the wedding because of all that drama.
That sucks.
It does. But honestly, we're okay. The noise around it all never mattered as much as the peace we found with each other.
She exhales deeply, looking out the window, a slight smile.
So yeah, that's the story. Not for sympathy or attention, just the truth.
It's wild, but you're strong as hell. And the way you turned it around? Kinda beautiful.
Join and hit that like button.